Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Just a second. Yeah. Okay. Hello. Welcome to Baking Turku. This is a series of live stream where different international students of the University of Turku are making popular or traditional Finnish pastry and talking about different things in how they live, or today how they prepare to live in such a city as Turku. And today I am here as always. My name is Dzmitry, and today with me are Edna from Mexico, who studies materials engineering, health technology materials, and Oshani from Sri Lanka, who studies at the master's degree program in information and communications technology, software engineering. And today we are making Piispanmunkki, or Berliner donuts, and they are usually called Berlinenmunkki, which is the common name for this thing all across Finland, which technically means the same thing as Berliner donut, but Piispanmunkki is the name which is used particularly in Turku, and this pastry, I've chosen it today because we are going to talk about how we prepared to move here and how our whole process of arranging the different documents, of going here, buying flight tickets, and a lot of different things, how all of that went. And I technically will show you how this is supposed to look like. So this is the thing. I hope you see it. And I'll shortly explain what ingredients we need. So we need flour with the cardamom and salt. I will stop the microwave oven for a second. Yep. Flour, cardamom, and salt. Butter of room temperature, or margarine, it doesn't matter. Sugar, eggs, and 1 egg and 2 egg yolks. Dry yeast. A lot of oil for frying. Some lemon juice, sugar powder, and well, color. I use natural coloring, which is bilberries, and also some jam, which is used for filling, and sugar powder is used for the glaze. And I'll start by mixing sugar, a bit of sugar, yeast, and warm milk, which is in the microwave. And we'll probably start talking about how our offers, how our admissions went, and how we technically decided to go to Turku in particular. Maybe did you apply to a lot of different universities, and how was your choice process of actually which university to go to went? Could you tell a bit more about that? Maybe, I don't know, Edna, Oshani, whoever wants to start, and I'll start with the preparation.
So other than Finland, I applied to universities in Germany and Sweden, and in Finland I applied for 2 other universities. So what made me choose UTU, or University of Turku, is basically because of the program ingredients, I would say. The courses. I took a look at all the courses or all of the universities that I applied for and received admissions for were foreign. So basically that was my primary concern. And then of course I went to see how much opportunities would be available for me in terms of if I want to continue my a job opportunity likewise, or re-enter to industry maybe. So in that aspect, I also kind of preferred Turku. And other than that, I also received a scholarship. So it made me gonna choose this university at the end. So it was not that hard. But I had a bit of a struggle with some other universities of the Finland, because they were kind of offering similar but good enough offers. So, but eventually I ended up choosing UTU. How about you?
In my case, I applied to the UK and Netherlands, and the thing that made me look to Turku, or look at Finland first, was that my boyfriend was making a double degree program in his country and in Finland. And I was like, oh, but like where? And he told me like Turku, and I was like, okay, let me check if they might have something related to my program, because my program is very hard to like find, or like it's like very specific. So I was like, okay, maybe they will not even have it. Maybe it doesn't hurt to check. So I checked and I applied. It was like in this small window that we have in January where I applied, and I applied and I was like, okay, we'll see how it goes. And I forgot about it, and then I got the yes from UTU. I applied to 2 programs in UTU and I got into both, but in all of them I was in waiting list, so I was like, okay, probably we'll see if I get a scholarship somewhere else. But I did not get any scholarship. So like that was the scholarship was not an issue for me to decide on where. But like also looking at the requirements to move here was like what made me be like, okay, it's not as good if I go here or if I go here. Like the economic stress would have been more if I had gone to other place. So that's like pretty much what I chose.
So it was kind of easier to go here than to some other place.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but it's nice. Your choice was kind of determined by your boyfriend's choice as well. Did you even know that where Turku was before?
No,
she told you?
no, like
Yeah.
it was just like no, because for me, I have always thought like I'm from Mexico City, so like for Mexicans, like if you're gonna be in a major university, it has to be in the capital.
All right.
So like for me, it was like it's not in Helsinki, it's not
Yeah.
in a major city,
Yeah.
like. Where is it? So then I
Yeah.
was like, no, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. I mean, like if you're from a different continent, it makes sense that you don't know that many cities in another country, in another continent. Yeah. But yeah, I would say that for me it was something similar to both of you. I applied to several different universities in Nordic countries, and then I just waited for the results, and the programs were quite different, but food development or food technology or something related to that, food science, was my priority, and I got accepted in several of them, and some of them were related to food, and some of them were something completely different, like primary education teacher, and it was a combination of food science and food development being the top priority for me, and also that I also got the scholarship from the University of Turku, and I think it was the only university that provided a full scholarship for the tuition fees, so it kind of determined where I would go as well. But also it was about me getting having an exchange here before, so it was kind of known place, and I liked Finland quite a lot. So I didn't really think much when I was accepting the offer. I think I accepted it just like on the second day or the third day of the after I received it. So
Yeah. No, it took forever to accept mine.
Yeah, and I put the yeast with the milk into a warm place, which is just sink filled with hot water, and it's gonna sit there for around 7 to 10 minutes. And we have a question. Did you know something about Finland before applying or getting admitted?
Not much in my case. Like, I mean, I knew it was in the north. I knew it was like close to, like, it was included in the Nordics. That was like pretty much what I knew. But like there's like this Mexican YouTuber that travels a lot, and he went to Helsinki for like a little bit, then he went to Rovaniemi, and he was saying like, oh my god, it's so advanced, like it's like so technological, and that's like, I just had like this idea that he went there and he said it was technological. It was like pretty much what I knew, and that in the north there was like the Santa Claus village. That's like pretty much what I knew about Finland at my end.
Okay, so I actually knew about Finland because it has been like a popular choice among the students in Sri Lanka. So there had been so many students who were choosing Finland as their master degree choice. So I had been quite stalking about Finland for some time during my undergrads, and but I really didn't know, at least it was a Nordic country or likewise, only when I booked the flights, when I saw the itinerary and I went through and say, okay, I'm traveling like almost half of the world to the top. Did I do something wrong? Why did I choose likewise? Even my parents were wondering why you had to go that much away from the home. But I think basically my choices were because of this the courses, and I didn't really think much of what would I have to face after I come in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get so many like shocks when you arrived or anything?
Pretty much the winter shocked me, but it was like because we are not used to winter as a season in our country. We are from a tropical country. We have sun all the day, all year. but it was not unmanageable. We are still here, so it's doable.
Right. Yeah, that's nice. Well, we will probably talk about preparing for winter later because, well, I guess that there is no winter like here in Mexico either.
No, but I mean, in my case, it was not as bad because I lived for almost 5 years in South Korea.
Right.
So like I was used to like, I had like,
Seasons.
the attire was there and I had all my winter jackets ready.
True.
But for me, the wind was a game changer. Had it here, so that's why I had no idea how to prepare for in winter here.
Oh, yeah, I see. Well, then after all of us got admitted, some practical things came into play, and well, probably we can speak about how our residence permit applications went, because all of us are from non-EU countries, so we had to apply for those. And well, does anyone want to start? How was it difficult for you, or was it easier for you? How was it? Because I think it
in
depends.
Mexico it was very easy. Like Mexico City has almost all embassies you can think of. So like the embassy was in the center kind of Mexico City. So I just went there, and well, first I applied online, and because people were telling me like, oh, it's gonna take forever, it's gonna take 3 months, you have to like begin now. If you're gonna take the offer, you might not even get it for August. And I was like, oh, I'm late, okay, I have to apply. So I applied, and it was super fast, like literally like within 1 week I was like, okay, here's your appointment, like come this day. And I went there, and like the embassy was like super small. It was like almost nobody was in the embassy, so it was like a very smooth process. Like it was smooth. They just were like, yeah, okay, thank you for your documents, and then like within 1 week they were like, okay, it's approved. 3 weeks later it was here. So
really fast.
it was so fast and easy, at least for Mexico City.
Do you remember when you applied, like when you started the application?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's still quite reasonable, even if the process is fast. It's good to apply earlier than later.
Yeah, it's better. It takes such a weight off you if you already have it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what I think as well.
How was it for you?
Okay, I think I would speak for the students who came from India, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, because we all have to go to VFS India to get the permit. So we all going through the same hassle. I think it will be continuing for another year or two because we don't have our own embassy. And so it's quite a trip. We first log our application in Enter Finland, so we have to get these additional documents based on our countries. So you will find them in Dzmitry as well as in Enter Finland when you are logging the applications. And then, as I said, there are some additional documents because we are not based in the country that we apply the resident permit. We applied in India. So I booked the flights, I went there, and I only got an appointment to go to this residence permit interview after a month. It's super long queue. I heard it's still the same. So I urge you, if you are an incoming student, to log the application as soon as possible, pay the fee and get into the waiting list as soon as possible. In my case, I was a little late doing that because I had to acquire some additional documents and it took some time. And because I was working in the industry at the moment, I have limited time to go and run to these places and do that myself. And so after I got an interview, I went there, and within around 10 days I got the decision, and it took another 2 to 3 weeks for me to get the residence permit to my hand. So I didn't have to go back to India. It was couriered. So it was pretty easy that way, but I was in a pretty tight timeline, and I almost I actually booked my flights even prior to getting the permit on my hand because it was too very tight schedule I had. University was starting the orientation around August 22nd or 28th, the last week of August. And the flight prices are skyrocketing that time, so you got to book it fast. So I had to go through that. So yeah, but after getting the residence permit, everything was pretty smooth. That leaving from my home country and coming here, the first checkpoint at TU, they were pretty straightforward. And I think Yeah, it was not that hard, but getting the permit is the hardest thing.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It is not hard,
Yeah.
I would say, but it
It's
has other
just-
procedures that you have to follow.
Yeah, like a lot of waiting time and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, but technically, yeah, I think that Migri has quite a straightforward website, and it's quite easy to understand what they need from
Yeah.
you. And also, if you lack something, they might just contact
Tell
you.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we have another. Before we start talking about another question, I'll go to the next step. And what we're gonna do now is just mix everything technically. So I'll mix flour with added stuff, sugar, milk with yeast, with the activated yeast, and egg yolks in this beautiful machine because I'm a bit lazy. I don't want to knead it with my hands. And when it's mixed into a homogeneous like lump of dough, then I add a bit of butter, which is softened at room temperature, and then also knead it for like another 10 minutes, and I'll just put the machine a bit to the side so that it doesn't entrap us that much. But the question is, another question in the chat or that we received is, do you think it's easier or harder to receive a residence permit for Finland than to other countries? I don't know about you, Oshani, but I, for example, haven't had an experience of getting any residence permit for other countries, but you had to get one for South Korea, as far as I understand.
I have studied abroad several times, and like I mean, even though most of my residence permits or visas were handled by my schools, for me it was just like, okay, just let them submit everything. They're gonna take charge of it. But when I applied to Korea, I had to do it myself. But the thing with Korea is that they send you all the documents that you need. So like everything is given. They're just like, just go take this and give it to them. So it's like it was like straightforward. It was like just go there and they're gonna know what to do. But here it was like, you're on your own, try to figure out if you have the correct things. And I was like, oh no, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do, I don't know if I have the right paper, I don't know if I have the right translation, I don't know if it's valid, I don't know if it's not valid. So it was like a little bit all over the place, but it was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like it was just me making triple sure if it was what they wanted.
Okay, so it was a bit just difficult because of the independence that you had. Like you were kind of
also because like my university papers come from Korea, and like I was in Mexico, and like because I had to revalidate stuff.
No.
So
Yeah, that sounds much more difficult.
yeah, but I mean it was not as bad. I mean it was not awful. It was just like different.
Okay.
Yeah, so I also haven't applied to a residence permit per se than in Finland, but there are some other countries that I have visited for short time, and I would say every one of them usually have the same kind of interviews that the Finland resident permit interviews are like. So they just check for your funds and the other related educational documents and your purpose of visit. So in terms of Finland, it's the education. So you have to prove the student offer letters likewise. They had to be in your hand. So it is quite the same, I would think, for other countries, but it largely depends on your purpose and the country that you're applying for.
Yeah, that's true.
It's more like generally process would be same, but there can be special situations based on the country. And I think one thing I want to highlight is in terms of Finland, the process is a bit kind of straightforward, I would say. So if they say that this particular step is needed, you would need, and if you have fulfilled that step, you would be definitely going to the next round or next phase. So there will be no other like hidden things, I would say, as far as I have understood so far. So if you have referred to Migri enough, and if you have talked with other students who have come here before, then you are in pretty good shape about like adjusting all your requirements and documents. So it's simple process, but you have to don't make it complicated by yourself, because there are quite some things that you have to fulfill, and if you are done with them, then it's easy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I also wanted to add that I think that Enter Finland, the website where you have to apply for a residence permit, is really nice. Like it looks really good user interface wise. So I think it's a very good part, because when I had to apply for different visas, because I traveled to quite a lot different countries in the Schengen states, and every time I needed to apply for a Schengen state visa, and it's always like, oh yeah, I have to go to one web page and see what the requirements are, but then I check another page and it says that there are some other things that they require, and it was always a bit of a gamble. Like, I wasn't really sure what the complete set of documents was expected from me. But with Finland it was quite straightforward, because it was this thing that was mentioned on Migri was also mentioned in Enter Finland, so it was quite easy to follow and navigate that. So yeah, I think it's as you said, Oshani, like if you just follow it and you don't complicate it yourself, then it should be fine. Yeah, but well, there was another thing that every one of us had to think of when we were moving here or preparing to move here, which is housing. How was it for you? Were you applying to TUS, which is the Turku Student Village Housing Foundation, or did you consider like private markets? What was your process?
In my case, I applied to TUIS because like it was like the one they were recommending the most on the webinars and stuff. So I was like, okay, this is, if they're saying it, it's safe, it's good. And also because like before I had experience with private markets, and I know how like hard it could be to get as a foreigner a house. So I was like, okay, let's just stick with this one. We'll see how it's gonna go. And it was not so bad, like, because we applied to like, well, my boyfriend and I, we are living together in the same house. So like us, we combined like how much we wanted to spend in the rent, and we were like, okay, we just like summed up. So we had like a super high limit for the rent, which was, I think it was good. And also like he was in charge of checking the location because like he wanted to be close to the center. So we just like said, we want to be here, we want this amount of rent, and we want to live together. Like we just said like we're a couple, we just want to live together, if it's possible, if not, it's fine. And it was like very easy. I mean, for me, it was stressful that I not got an answer until like a month or almost like a week before I have to move in. But it was not bad. But like, I mean, I can understand that the stress of like not knowing if you have a place or not can be great for some students. How about you?
I didn't really consider private market, because when I did my exchange studies here, I also used the TUIS, the student housing, and it was really convenient. I didn't have to look for any apartment. I didn't need to interact with anyone. It was just filling in an application, waiting, and then getting the offer. Of course, if I had submitted it early enough, because the thing is, you can submit it 3 months before you want to move in, and I think it's better to submit it as early as possible. I did it like for when I was moving for my master's. I submitted it like on the 1st of May, which was the earliest date possible. So I think I received it like in late June, like maybe last week of June or something. And I can say as well, it is a bit stressful to wait, but I think TUS says that they send the offer like 4 to 6 weeks before the moving in date, and well, in my case it was like that. So it's fine. Like I think I remember I modified my application a bit, and I added a few of the housing options, because I was looking for the cheapest ones, and I remember I just limited it to one location, but then I added another one, and I actually got the offer from that location that I added later. So yeah, that's quite good. Did you think also of the housing?
Yes, I didn't went to look for private apartments. That's basically because I'm putting myself in an unknown place, unknown country, so I at least want to be among students. So when it said to student village, I thought, okay, this is the place. And I'm sure like there are many other students, the likewise minded people are there, so if I found in trouble, there will be people to help me in at least. And it proved to be true in the end. So, and I would, as far as I have heard, it is kind of cheap as well than private market.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
if you are a student on a budget, it would be like a good decision for you to go for those apartments. And I actually applied a little late for housing as well, and that is because I was torn in between two decisions about which universities. I kind of accepted the university a little late, and because of that, I applied to house a little late, thermic little late, and everything was late.
Yeah.
It kind of like a chain reaction happened, and I initially this says that you will get at least 2 offers usually for one application, and I got my first offer around mid of June, although I applied a little late, and it is I applied for shared apartments, and I put my budget, and what I got was exactly the that amount, the apartment that is fit into those criteria. But it was little far from the university because TUS has different locations where their housing are. So I initially a bit worried about that because I'm not sure how to get into the university, and that area was called Turku Berliner, where Dzmitry is now staying.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
really
it's
beautiful place. I still regret because I gave up that and I moved in later to university, like a nearby place. So what I want to emphasize is it's better you accept the first offer, and because you need a place, as Edna says, to crash in when you first come into Finland. And within like 2 months, I applied for a transfer and I got it in 3 weeks. And I moved to west side of the student village, which is Lansi, Jokula. And, it is very near walking distance to university. So don't worry much about the offer that you are getting from the TUS. You can just go on and accept
can
it.
always change.
And later you can change it like I did. But I still regret giving up my apartment in Turku Berliner. It was so good.
Well, you can move again.
I might.
Go back.
Yeah. But so what apartments do you have? Like, where are they furnished? Are they? Well, you said you had a shared apartment before, and now you live in a studio.
Yeah, I am now living in a single apartment or a studio. Before it was a shared apartment, so we had 3 rooms. There were 3 apartment mates, and we had to share the bathroom and the kitchen. And there were no furniture, and that is mentioned in the agreement as well. So you can buy furniture from either from second-hand market shops here, like Ikotori, or you can go to IKEA and buy it. Probably if you are an incoming student, your tutors will give this information in due time to you.
Yeah, that's true.
And but it is not that hard because I came in with a friend, so until her apartment is ready, she stayed with me for a month. So she is also from Sri Lanka, so it was not that hard without living with her, because this is like a kind of very unfamiliar place to us, but we kind of managed to get the furniture as soon as possible. And you don't have to sometimes pay for furniture because some students are leaving on that time and they might give it to you.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens, so it is also a possibility. And of course there's a heater, and it turns on when the winter comes. You won't feel cold. And other than that, the kitchen has all the equipments you need, but if you need more things like a mixer like that, you can buy it. And currently I live in a studio, which is a single apartment, so I have my own bathroom, but we have a shared kitchen. And 30 or 20 or up, there's another type of apartments you can get for your own kitchen and your own bathroom, and that is right outside my building. So it is all the filters that you apply in the application. You will get what you want.
Do you know how many people approximately live on the same floor with you?
All the apartments are now occupied in mine. Yeah, so I think entire building is now fully. Yeah, there are so many tenants came in recently. So all those shared kitchen, it's not like crowded also because not many people cook.
Yeah, it's also true.
And I myself don't cook every day because we have classes. You guys know, it's not every day, so it's doable, and you will have your privacy most of the time in the kitchen as well.
So is it like around 10 people on the same floor? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
there are 10 people, and the size of the apartment is, if I'm not mistaken, around 18 square meters. And yeah, it is. If you are, I think, a couple as Edna, it might not be enough. So you probably are advised to apply for a bigger house.
Yeah. I think it's also mentioned in the rules of
As a rule,
TUS, that you cannot apply for two people if the square
The space.
the space is
Yeah.
less than like 34 or something
yeah.
meters. So yeah. And before we move to Edna, I'll quickly explain what I'm doing now. And in case you've just joined, we're doing Piispanmunkki, and it's an episode of Baking Turku in which we're talking about preparations for our moving here and the moving here itself. And right now, the dough has been kneaded, and I have to put it into a warm place for around an hour or until it doubles in size. And then after that, I would have to shape separate buns and put them into a warm place again for like 30-50 minutes. But to save our time, for all of us, I had prepared the buns before, so I'll just use those. They have already been risen 2 times, and what's left to do in that case is just to heat up the oil to like 160-170 degrees Celsius, not more preferably, and be quite careful with the oil because, well, it's extremely hot. And just technically fry those buns one by one, just turning them once and putting them to drain on a plate that's lined with some napkin or kitchen towel. Edna, so where do you live? What are your conditions and like how is it going for you in housing?
I also live in the student village west side. I live in like one of the, I don't know if it's the biggest apartment available, but like in one of the, it's like 46.2 square meters. So for me, coming from South Korea before, I used to live in a 16 square meter house.
Right.
So for me, it's like, for me now I live in a mansion. And I mean, it's very nice, it's very spacious. I don't have to share a bathroom nor kitchen with anyone, which like, I mean, for me,
Except for your boyfriend.
Except for my boyfriend. But like, because before I used to live in South Korea, I used to live in a dorm. So I had to share the bathroom and I had to share the kitchen.
Okay,
and I could not do it again. It's not my thing. I just like, because I was in my bachelor, it was the most busiest time for me, so I was like, no. It's easier for me just to have my own kitchen, my own bathroom. And I mean, it's very spacious. We have our own bedroom, and there's also like our office. And we have like a walk-in closet too, which is like super nice to have like all the stuff.
Like for storage. Yeah, that's really nice.
And we have like a lot of closet area. We have our living room, and it's like living room and kitchen in one go. So it's like, it's very spacious and big. And we, of course, we have our bathroom, and instead of a balcony, we have like our little terrace garden, which is like very, very spacious, and it's like nice. We have like flowers growing on and stuff, so it's
So you live on the first floor?
Yes.
Like on the ground floor? Oh, that's lovely.
But it was empty when we arrived. It was empty. And like, I mean, for me to have the creativity to furnish such a big space for me, I was like, it's too much of a big space for me. What am I gonna do? But like, as you say, like people, like a lot of people gifted me like furniture, or like a friend gifted me like the sofa that he was gonna give away because he was gonna change it.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was like very nice. It's very cheap. Like when you get like really nice things, you can get really nice things for very cheap price, which is great. And yeah, I mean, now it's like fully furnished. I cannot imagine it empty when I have to leave now.
Yeah, I think it's something that might happen to you like within the first week. That, as it happened to me, I arrived just the day before orientation, and it was in the evening, and the next day I had to go to orientation. So I think I was in an empty room for around a week. I slept on two, what are these?
Sleeping bags?
No, that's sleeping bags. I forgot.
Inflatable things?
No. I forgot. What do you cover yourself with?
Blankets?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so I stepped into blankets to make it at least a bit softer or something, and then yeah, only after a week I actually managed to go to some places, or not to go to places, but check through different Facebook markets and Ekotori, which is the second-hand furniture store, and not only furniture, and to get some things from there. So yeah, it's something that might happen, but except for that, the apartments are usually fully equipped for kitchen, meaning that there is an oven, there is some sink, there is a fridge, a freezer, and also
Stove.
yeah, a stove. Yeah.
Dishwasher. You can place the dishes.
I'm not really a dishwasher person, so it doesn't matter to me that much. But yeah, some people actually install it. Yeah.
It is like I don't know, like a milestone find in that town, because we don't have it in my country. It's kind of like innovation here. I think.
Okay.
We don't have that where you place the dishes and they get rinsed and they get dried. Super good.
Yeah, it's really convenient.
It's mind blowing for me.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's not an innovation for me yet, but every time I see it in someone's apartment, I'm like, oh, you have a dishwasher. It's so nice.
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy. Exactly.
Actually, what I meant was the one above the sink.
Ah, you mean the drying rack?
Yeah, not the dishwasher. I think I used the wrong word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the drying rack.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that is hidden. That is hidden in the
hidden,
thing.
But it's not in our the kitchen compartments. We don't have it. So when I saw the rack just above the sink, so you don't get all your other equipments wet.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah. Okay. I
That's
see.
very nice.
Yeah,
Space saving.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the also very good thing that you will never live with someone in the same room, because it's like in my dorms, for example, in my country, it used to be that there actually could be a few people living in the same room, even not in the same apartment, and share the bathroom as well. But you can share the bathroom here only if you live with someone like in the same
apartment.
Yeah. Not if you live on the same floor, because if you live with a shared kitchen, it's still, you have your own fridge, even you have your own fridge, your own bathroom. Yeah, like your own wardrobe. I'm forgetting all the words in English. Yeah, but yeah.
So yeah, it's like you can choose the level of socializing you want.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad, I think, to share a kitchen. It's because almost the time it's empty, because the students are going to not always in their rooms and like stuff. But as Dzmitry said, sharing the bathroom is not that awful if you have like good company. Hopefully I had it, and I know it was doable, but I kind of need a little more closer proximity to the university. That's why I basically moved on. Otherwise I would have stayed.
Yeah. Are you still friends with the people you lived here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they moved to exchange places. Like they got exchange places in the next year. So this semester, I think, autumn semester, and they moved.
Okay.
But yeah, very good. And they helped, like when I first moved in, they helped me to find this Ecuadorian stuff.
That's
they helped
really
me.
nice. Yeah.
And we made food. I don't remember the name, but we made some pastry kind of like this. I think it's something to do with cinnamon.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really fun when you have other people, because you can just open a door and there are people for you to talk with.
Yeah.
You don't have that in your own studio apartments.
Yeah. That's true.
It is good, I think, in winter especially, because you can't go out much.
Yeah. But yeah, probably talking about winter, how were you preparing? I mean, like, what were you packing? How much luggage did you have? How was it like? How was your thought process like?
I came here with 3 suitcases, 3 23-kilogram suitcases. And one of them was full of winter stuff. Like as I said, like I already had my long padding. I had like 2 long padding jackets. I had like short long padding. That looks so good.
Sorry.
It looks good. I had like tons of jackets, but like they're fluffy and they're heavy. And even though I had the compressed bags, it was still like a lot. And I came with like some winter boots that I used in Korea too. So I was like, if they work there, they're gonna work here. And so I came with those. My preparing was okay. I'm not gonna be cold, so that was good. But like here, the wind was making it extra cold, and I was like, okay, that and the ice. Like I was not used to walking on ice so much because like sometimes the roads get icy and you're sliding down sometimes. So like I had to like buy winter boots and. Also, I bought myself some like warm pants that will have like fleece inside.
Oh, nice.
Like I only use like really twice, but I mean, it's still good.
Yeah, it's still worth it. Yeah.
Still good.
Yeah.
So that's how I prepared. I mean,
did you have any, like these like thermal pants that are?
I did, but I never used them.
Okay.
The thing is that I like cold. I can stand cold very well because like most of the time I was not using my base layers, but my boyfriend, for example, he was like using them every day. So like he was freezing and I was like, no, it's fine. But also because I had my super thick jacket, so I could just go like this and just with my jacket and it was fine. But for him, he was like, no, I need my my wood base layer. So like it was like different. Depending how much you withstand cold, it will also affect you. How about you?
For me, it was really funny because technically I moved I don't know how many suitcases because I'm from Belarus originally, but before I moved to Finland I was living in Lithuania, so it's not that far. It's like 700 kilometers, maybe 800, so it's just 1 hour, like 1 hour and a half flight. So I just moved back and forth several times, and the last time was actually with a bicycle because I also moved my bicycle here. So it was going through all the Baltic countries, through the ferry from Tallinn to Helsinki, then with the train from Helsinki to Turku. So my bicycle traveled like, I don't know, 1,500 kilometers or something. Yeah, but it was worth it because I know I like my stuff, especially my kitchen things, because kitchen is a very dear place to me, and I brought a lot of kitchen equipment, kitchen like pots or stuff like that because I didn't want to say goodbye to that. Yeah, so I brought everything. I think I flew once with 2 suitcases, then I moved here with the bicycle, suitcase and the sports bag, and then I moved once again. I flew back to Lithuania and I flew back here with the suitcase, I think, and maybe another time.
Damn.
But yeah, it was a lot. I mean, I was visiting my friends as well, but I was also getting my stuff. So yeah, but what about you, Oshani?
Yeah, so I was remembering all the things I brought here. I actually brought only one winter jacket because in our country winter is not a case to worry about and we don't have like a lot of options. And until I come here, I didn't know about these thermal wearings and the fleece lining, those things. So everything I bought from here. So the other thing is like we weren't very sure about the quality of the things that were in our country labeled as winter because we really don't know whether they work or not.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to spend money on that.
Yeah, exactly.
I just saved that and I bought everything from here. And these winter boots and stuff, they really helped me, and thermal wearings. You are needing that, I think, in the winter. I needed
If
that.
you're not Edna.
Edna. Yeah. So other than that, my packing was basically lot was to the side of spices because
right.
yeah, we are coming from that culture. We use a lot of spices. So I packed them, vacuum packed them, and I also brought some kitchen stuff which we don't find here. But because we eat rice like every day, so rice is a staple food. So I had to bring a cooker for that. Because I heard it's hard
It's
to
a big
find.
one, right?
Yeah, but I found a small one, just enough for me.
Okay.
So my packing was basically them and a lot of summer clothes because that's I actually wear in there. And everything is even like these long sleeve jackets and stuff. I just bought from here. I didn't have any of them. We don't have that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Like I brought around 50 kilograms or something of everything. Then, yeah, I think I brought like a lot of socks because I heard that we have to wear socks when we're sleeping even.
Yeah, true.
So that's something that I brought like 16 pairs or something. Like not a lot.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
I'm not reading socks anymore for another year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sleep with socks on, but yeah, maybe when it's like really cold, maybe you would need that.
I still do.
Ah, you still do? Okay. Well, yeah, it depends on the person, I guess.
We are not Edna, we can't.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say that it's not really, well, I was bringing my stuff because I had winter jackets and winter clothes already, but I think if you don't have it, it's better just to buy it here because it takes a lot of space. Like, I remember when I was moving my winter stuff, it took one suitcase and it was just maybe one or two pair of boots and two jackets or something. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's good to buy it here. Yeah, but we're moving on, and what I did now is I put raspberry jam or whatever jam it could be into a pastry bag, I think it's called, and yeah, some nozzle, which is like a syringe nozzle, so that I can actually fill these buns with the jam. And after that, I'll glaze them with a mixture of sugar powder or powdered sugar, a bit of lemon or lime juice, and a bit of water, which will be just mixed until it's homogeneous, and yeah, also with a bit of coloring. So yeah, I'll just mix until it's homogeneous, and then like I will dip the buns into that stuff so that they're covered. Yeah, but first I'll take these out.
They smell great.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know. When you arrived here, do you remember what were the first things you were doing? Like, I understand it probably was something about the furnishing your apartments, but maybe something else, like some practicalities or what things you thought were the most important for you at that moment.
In my case, I was in Germany before coming here. So like when we arrived, I thought I was gonna be relieved from summer hot weather, but Finland and way was like when it was kind of hot here. So I was like, please, the heat is following me. And then for us, in my case, my boyfriend ordered a mattress beforehand that it was delivered that same day we arrived.
Oh, nice.
So like for him, it was like, no, we're not gonna sleep on the floor. We cannot sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
So that same day we just literally went to pick it up, and then we were like, we can't worry about what are we gonna do later. We just need a mattress today. So we just went that same day with my tutor to pick it up. She told us where it was, and then we just came back home. We let it like poof up, and then we were like, okay, at least we have a mattress. That's what matters. And the next day, I think we were like, me and other friends, we were like, you want to go to IKEA? You want to go check what IKEA has? You want to check what we could find? Because at that time I had no idea how to use the Facebook Market that well. So I was like, IKEA was my reliable source on furniture.
Yeah.
And then like little by little, I started meeting people who were telling me like, oh, like don't wait for this, do that. So like it was like a slow process, I have to say. What about you?
Okay, so in my case, my tutor had already picked the key, so I had to meet her in Turku. So when I go down from the flight from Helsinki, before that even, I have already booked the bus ticket, and we arrived in here in around 2 hours or something, and my tutor picked me up, and she brought me into this apartment that I had. And then the first thing I was also told by her, as well as during the webinars, was to like get the bus card, because that helps you go to places and you can find these markets by yourself, as well as you can even go to IKEA. So bus card was the first thing, and just the next day we went and took the bus card, and then we actually pretty much wandered through the city to find these places. It was sunny by the time that I came around, so I almost felt like, okay, this is going to be good, because it's just like Colombo. Not much different, but it changed within like 3 weeks or time.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, when I initially came, it was so sunny. I didn't even have to wear a jacket. I was super happy. I thought maybe I don't have to buy a jacket until winter comes, but I had to. And then I tried some local food, and also because I was living at the time in a shared space, I had to get familiar with the two other roommates, and they were also super good. And actually, as Edna said, one of the roommates offered me a chair and a bed as well, and because she was moving in due time, so it was good, and it helped us to sleep in a bed without sleeping in the floor. And that was mainly the practicalities, and I arrived like a week before, so I still have time to go to the university. And when it comes to that time, the orientation time, I had to submit the documents to the university, so that's the next important thing you have to do. I think there's a deadline as well, September 30th, if
I think 18th.
18th.
Yeah, the original documents, yeah.
Original documents,
Yeah.
you got to submit, so you have to bring them and submit, and you will of course get them back when they have verified. So that's like the first things I did, yeah.
But did you get a bank account, or did you do anything for that?
Yeah, that one I had the appointment like a little later. So I later did get to know that the university also organizes a day for that, for you to get this DVV registration done. But I have booked an appointment already back in my country. So it was after the orientation happened. I had to go to DVV and submit few documents. They are all in their site, so it is very easy to find which documents you have to submit. And then I got the DVV registration in a month or so time. So it is not pretty fast, but it is it happens, and everything is digital, and you get an email for that. And it is after like 3 or 4 months I got my Finnish ID from the police. It is not a must, but it helps you in a lot of cases here when you have your own bank credentials. The police Finnish ID. And in terms of the bank, I had to wait until the DVV registration happens to get the bank account opened. It has quite a big process, but you have to submit a lot of things. You can make an appointment in the bank after you got the DVV registration, and sometimes even before that. But I waited until the DVV registration happens. I'm not sure about how you guys did that. Did you do it simultaneously, or did you wait for DVV registration to happen?
I think I did my DVV registration pretty early on, because I arrived first here like early August, and then so I went to the DVV office then, though they told me when I came there that they will have a pop-up at the university, so maybe they're a bit more they're a bit happier when people wait for the pop-up at the university. But I was like, well, I'm here already, so let's do it probably. So yeah, it happened for me that I got the registration first, and then I did everything else. Like first I did the bank account, maybe like in October or September or late September, and then I applied for the police card. So yeah, but it's technically, since we had the social security number already, because we applied for the registration permit, so we could do the police card and the bank account. No, we actually had to do the bank account after the registration. Yeah, but and the police card as well. So registration is first, but yeah, it's better to have it done first. But maybe to make it clear, do you remember when you arrived, and were you joining the orientation days?
I arrived on August 17, and I think orientation was on the 22nd.
Yeah.
So I was here because I was actually thinking of staying another week in Germany, and then we saw the orientation, and I was like, okay, fine, I have to be there. I don't know how Finland works, so I have to go. Yeah. But it was very helpful, I have to say. So I'm glad I joined.
I don't really remember the orientation day, but as Edna said, it should be August 22nd. So I arrived on August 19th, and I think faculty orientation was taken a bit later. That's what I was remember as August 28th. And the orientation, I was also like thinking of participating from the beginning, because there were a lot of things we had to know from here, like different organizations come,
True.
like the student union, the ambassadors also, and the ESN, likewise student organizations come, and also your own faculty will conduct particular orientation most of the time. So it is like very advisable to be there because they explain you the credits and the stuff that you have to do, and of course when to start like the master thesis if you are coming for the masters and etc. So it's best to participate into that, I think.
Yeah, that's true. As I said before, I came just
Multiple
the day.
times.
Yeah. Yeah, just the day before, and I don't remember much about orientation either because it was really hectic for me. But yeah, I remember that there was some information about the language courses and the Finnish language in particular, and how the scholarship and tuition fees worked, and how the DVV registration worked, and some things like that. So it was quite useful. I think I had prepared beforehand quite extensively, so I knew much of the stuff, but it was still nice to hear some things about the languages because I didn't know about that much. And also it was really nice just to hang out with other people because there were some really big lunch breaks, and also there was a picnic after one of the days, and it was nice just to talk with some people and to get to know each other because it was still like before the studies started, so it was not stressful, at least for those reasons. So there was time to maybe just to mingle and to interact with others. So I think it was really nice to do that.
Yeah.
And we're really close, I think. I'm not sure if it will set completely, but at least it's reaching that point.
Yeah.
And I think it's looking good.
It looks
Let's-
great.
Yeah, just a tiny bit messy, tiny bit, but mostly fine.
I am just staring at them. I am like,
When you were, by the way, when you were living in some time passed, maybe like a month or maybe more or less, did you feel that you wanted to bring something but you hadn't brought it?
Yes.
Like, were you missing something?
Yes.
What you were lacking?
candies.
Ah.
Candies and Mexican food.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
because the thing is that now that I've been here longer, I realize that the ingredients that I need are available here, things that were not a thing before in Korea. So I was like, okay, fine, I just go to a restaurant. But here, they do have a lot of the ingredients that I want to use, or like there's Asian stores that have like all the separate ingredients of the stuff that I like. So I was like, I want to get these ingredients, and I want to be able to like eat them, but like there was like this one specific thing that was missing, and I was like, I wish I could have brought more candies. I wish I could have brought like, I don't know, I wish I could have learned better how to cook before coming here. So like it's mostly like candies and food, because like some are very expensive to get here, or some are like this one thing that I want is not available in certain online stores that I know. So that's the thing I regret the most. I'm like, I could have used more candies here.
Right.
Okay, I have two things I should have brought here. One thing is, I'm not sure if it is familiar to you guys. It's called mortar and pestle, like a small handy thing. So we have it at our home, but I didn't actually have space to put that thing.
And it's quite heavy.
And it's heavy.
Yeah, but I want to bring that when I go back to Sri Lanka and come again. And the other one thing is like a physical photo album kind of thing, because we have everything now on digitally. I have all the photos on the phone, but I kind of need to have something physically. That's something I miss to bring.
Yeah, I also had because I like taking Polaroids, and like in Korea, photo booth pictures are a thing. So I had tons of them, but like because I left, my coming here was hectic, so like I left those photos at home, and I'm like, I wish I could have brought them too. But I mean, I know they're back home, so I'm just like, I know they're there.
Yeah, you'll get them if you want it. Or you can also ask the parents to send them.
But I mean, it's not like, but the food is the food.
Yeah,
the food.
So food and memories. Food and memorabilia. But I think if you want to try it, they might be a bit messy, so you might want a towel.
Take a towel? Okay.
Yeah, you can get one for Oshani as well, and maybe for myself. But yeah, they should be around done and not too hot to eat for sure. So we can dig in and test what's been done. I'll check if
so
there are any
yeah.
last questions. But
Should we try?
yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think there are no questions left, so we can just try those.
You can just eat. They,
A bit
it's
sticky,
okay.
but it's fine. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. They're great.
Mine is technically just filled with jam. It's just a big,
Same.
big
Look at this.
yeah, maybe a little bit less.
But it's so good though.
Okay,
I really like
thank
it.
you. Yeah. Well, if you want to try to make it at home, you have the recipe. And thank you for watching this and joining us. I'm glad that we tried at least to tell you a bit about how we prepared for moving here, and I hope you'll join us for our next episode, which will be in September, which will be about maybe nature and more about like touristic sites in Finland and around Turku as well. But a bit more details later about that. And if you have any questions, you feel free to ask them either in chats with us, the current ambassadors, or in chats with the tutors. The links will be below in the description. And also feel free to check the master's degree programs if you are not an admitted student yet, but you want to apply for in the next round. And thank you once again. Hopefully see you later in Turku. In person, and have a good rest of the weekend and a good week as well. Bye.
Bye bye. See you.
Is it done?
Is it done?
I'll continue eating.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
I want to eat it freely, but the jam got stuck in my hand, so I was like always this.
Yeah.